Hello, I'm Paul Wagenseal. I'm a custom content strategist with Cyber Risk Alliance, and I'm here at Identiverse with Vibhuti Sinha, who is the Chief Product Officer at Saviynt, which is a major identity company, and we're going to be talking about the future of identity management, transitioning from operational to intelligent platforms. Now, Vibhuti, how do you quantify the difference between an operational and an intelligent platform?
A good question, Paul. If you look at identity projects predominantly, they have been in an operations phase for a very long time. People used to work with Excel sheets, people used to work with macros. It has evolved and there were a number of products which got created in this space. But what has happened is that it has just taken the human element at a certain degree and it never went away from making it into a completely intelligent platform because the sheer volume with which identity events and types are increasing.
Sure.
Now is the time for these platforms to become, and the transformation projects which the enterprises are doing in this space to take the leap and go from an operational to an intelligent platform.
But what is the fundamental difference? What is operational versus intelligent? What does that really mean?
So in a typical governance workflow, what you see is people certifying access, people requesting access. It was okay when you had a small subset of identities being requested for, but when the volumes are in millions, when the volumes are in and the events are occurring in real time, it's humanly not possible to mine that information, and a lot of that information and a lot of that deduction is being done manually today with these tools, and that is why the intelligence equation comes in, wherein it allows you to focus with what matters, and that focus on what really matters is where the intelligence comes in. So out of 5 million entitlements or 0.5 million entitlement which you have to certify, if you have to look for the 1,000 ones, that's what an operational to an intelligent platform does, that it lets you focus on that exact subset of scope what really matters, number one. And number two, it also allows the decision makers, people who approve access, people who get into the system to make some decisions, they get the right amount of information at the right amount of time. What happens is that in traditional identity platforms, a lot of time is being spent on people understanding what does this really mean. You talk to another human being, that human being is talking to another human being, they're trying to figure out what's really going on, rather than the platform doing that heavy lifting and telling you intelligently what those decisions should be, giving you the right ammunition for you to make the right amount of decisions at the right amount of time with the right amount of information. So that's a fundamental shift from an operational to an intelligent platform.
So, I mean, are you saying there's a lot more automation in an intelligent platform? That
automation is one piece to it, but it's also about taking a very large sets of data, and then telling you what exactly is the data which you should be looking at. Point number one. Point number two, if you look at identity platforms and identity data, the data itself is very poor. Why do you have a certification campaign or an access campaign which is taking months? Because you do not have enough descriptions for your entitlements. You do not have the right owners who should be certifying that access, or your requesters are struggling because they don't know what an entitlement really means. So all this information, all this poor data quality also adds, it exacerbates the whole efficiency of the platform, and that's what intelligence brings in, which allows you to not only enrich that data, but it also allows you to focus on what really matters. So it's not just automation, but it's also improving the quality of the data and then giving you at the right point of time when it is really needed.
So it's guiding and filtering and sort of pointing you in the right direction.
Guiding and filtering would be the starting point, but also with all the advancements we have in the AI technologies, a lot of that is generated by the large language models and the technologies like Gen AI. So you as a person, you do not have to understand the identity lingo to get the best out of an identity platform. You tell what you want in pure, simple English terms.
I see.
Like, I want to do this job. let the system figure out what it means
Okay.
underlying.
So it's giving you a bit of a distance from the technical workings, but it's making it easier for someone who's not well versed in the sort of lingo to operate it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. So, what do you see as a major shift in identity security beyond what you've just described?
So there are three major shifts happening right now in the identity industry. Number one, due to the macroeconomic conditions, there is a massive pressure on every identity leader to do more in a cheaper, faster, and better manner.
Of course.
In fact, the number what the most of the enterprises are targeting for, and even the analyst reports says that 50% is the number which every enterprise is looking to cut down on their operational costs for their identity projects. If you look at it, 50% is a very lofty number. It's
Yes.
not a small number, and that's why our investments in intelligence is much needed in this space. The second big shift, as I explained to you earlier, is to consume identity platforms, you need to understand the lingo, you need to understand the technical plumbing, and all that has to go away with abstraction, all that has to go away with simplicity. So at this point of time, globally, 60% of the organizations, they are now looking to simplify their identity platform operations, the entire experience of how you interact with a complex ecosystem like that. The third big shift, what we are seeing is cloud has grown. The adoption of cloud has picked up massively. But even today, security and compliance of cloud is the number one hindrance in the adoption of cloud. In fact, 59% of the organizations have kept security and compliance as the number one barrier for them to go to cloud. And that is why having identity platforms secure your cloud assets, again, is a massive shift, what we are seeing in this ecosystem. Another interesting fact, what we saw is that 47 to 48% of the budgets have been allocated just for the security and compliance aspects, or to improve the security posture of your cloud ecosystem. And with identity being the new perimeter, it sits right and center with respect to your cloud first strategy.
So that's a pretty big goal. If companies really want to cut their identity spending in half, just as identity is becoming more and more important, it seems like these are two impossible sort of things to reconcile. And how does Saviynt try to bridge that gap?
So I'll start with the first one, which is how are we thinking about reducing the 50%. So the first thing what we did was we built what we are calling it as the next gen recommendations engine. So you come as a user to our platform, and if let's say you want to request access, it sounds very trivial. It's not in most of the enterprises, because there's so much business logic entangled, and users are spending an awful lot of time to figure out how should I get access to, let's say, Salesforce as an application, or any other SaaS application, or business critical applications like SAPs of the world. So what we are doing is we are collecting a lot of that information, and we are giving you recommendations on based on what your peers have access to. Do they have same job code? Do they have same location in which they are based out of? So the system creates all these intelligent recommendations and tells you that this is what you should be requesting access to, rather than they coming and hunting down for that.
Right.
On an average, if you look at it, 220,000 roles are the average number of entities which a user has to search for to get the right access.
Wow.
Why? So the idea is that why not tell them exactly what they need and let the system do the heavy lifting, number one. Number two, what we are doing is building that human interaction. You tell me what you want to do. If you want to patch a production server, or if you want to, let's say, download a particular financial report for your quarterly updates on for your financial updates, you tell us what you want to do, and let the system figure out what access do you need, whether it is for 5 systems, 7 systems. You don't have to search for that. And that's where we are building a Gen AI based natural language interface, whereas a person doesn't have to understand the lingo.
Right.
And again, this is again powered through all the advancements we have in the Gen AI technologies. And the third one, which is the most interesting one, is giving you the right insights and analytics. If you look at all the products in the market. What they give you is what we call in the analytics world is a descriptive analytics, which tells you that these are the 7 things or 7,000 things which has happened. What they don't tell you is why has it happened, will it happen again, and what can I do to prevent it from happening. And these are the 3 stages of analytics, which is going from descriptive to diagnostic, prescriptive, and predictive analytics. And that's what we are doing. We are building industry's first identity security data lake, which will again amass massive amounts of identity information, mine all that using AI technologies,
Right.
and then give you those intelligent insights, which tells you, yes, your request times are pretty long,
Right.
or your certification times are skewed up,
Right.
but this is what you can do to prevent it from happening.
Terrific. Terrific. Now, how is Saviynt ready for the identity shifts, and how is it helping organizations with their transformations from operational to intelligent security?
Yeah, we have been in this journey for the last several years now. I think we have made massive strides. As I mentioned, our recommendations engine is being adopted really well. There is so much more to learn from our customers and partners, where they are feeding their information to our engines, and it is learning, it is evolving. So all the intelligence which we have built in the platform, it is evolving. Number 1. Number 2 is the simplicity. So we have taken massive strides in also improving the simplicity or the experience of the platform. So the whole natural language interaction with the platform, that is picking up. That is where we are putting a lot of our money and time on. But we are also doing tremendous amounts of usability testing with our existing customers as well as with our partners on how we should be shaping the identity platform for the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
And in lieu of that, we created what we call it as the next gen identity marketplace. So our partners are building their solutions. Our customers are helping us to crowdsource a lot of what they are seeing in this ecosystem.
Right.
And overall, not only they are helping Saviynt, but they are helping the community to grow together, because all the intelligence which they are sharing, it is helping not only their peers, but also any and every customer who is trying to get and resolve their identity transformation needs. And the third thing, as I mentioned, was the cloud security aspects. So with cloud security, we and with our deep partnerships with players like AWS and Microsoft, we have been investing a lot in ensuring that all the latest and greatest technologies, what these providers or the hyperscalers are doing, we ingrain ourselves with them. So not only our customers are going to AWS and Microsoft as part of their cloud adoption, but Saviynt is becoming the front and center in ensuring that when they migrate or when they adopt AWS and Microsoft, they are doing that in a secure and they are governed. Like governance doesn't become an afterthought; it is embedded right from in their business workflows on day one.
Okay, that's interesting. So how do you work with these partners? Do you all share information? Is that how it works?
Can you repeat that?
Well,
question?
I mean, with it, you mentioned AWS and Microsoft as your partners, and you are testing out different interfaces, different strategies to improve the situation. Are AWS and Microsoft participating in that, or are you just sharing information with them?
Yes, absolutely. So Microsoft recently released their security co-pilot as part of their GenAI effort.
Right.
And one of the things which they came to us was when they were launching the security co-pilot for the SOC analyst, they wanted the identity context to be provided.
Right.
And we partnered very early on, where Saviynt is now fully integrated with the security co-pilot of Microsoft.
Oh, great.
Any customer who has invested in Microsoft offerings can now ensure that the Microsoft and Saviynt offerings goes hand in hand, and their SOC analyst not only has a threat data coming from Microsoft, but they also are amped up with the identity context which is coming in from Saviynt.
Okay.
So we have been partnering with these players since our early days. It has been a good partnership with them. The other dimension to this is the SI partners. So the big fours, all the SI partners who work with our customers, they also provide a tremendous value add. They understand the proprietary information of our customers. They understand the entire ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
They understand the verticals. So they are already building a lot of solutions. They're crowdsourcing a lot of that and putting it onto our marketplace.
Okay.
Some of it is transactable, some of it is free to the community. So overall, it's helping our partners to build on top of the foundational platform what we have, and then helping to elevate the identity security posture for our customers.
Terrific. I think we're out of time, I'm afraid. So I'm Paul Wagensa. We've been here with Vibhuti Sinha, the Chief Product Officer of Saviynt, and you can watch this interview later at securityweekly.com/Saviynt IDV, spelled SAVIYNTIDV. And I'm Paul Wagensa, Cyber Risk Alliance. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Good chatting with you.
Appreciate it.